guys, let's do a knife checkup. If I were coming to your house right now and walk in and bring you just a basic tomato, not even a pineapple that's hard to cut, and I said, pull out your knives from your drawer, would you be embarrassed or proud to show me? Okay, so let's say you'd be super embarrassed. You gotta watch what we're gonna talk about. Okay, let's say you'd be proud to show me, but how often do you try to sharpen them themselves? Or do you send them away to be sharpened and you never quite get around to it? How many of you have knives that you bought from like a super center and they're rusted and they just get dull so quickly? Well, imagine having one knife set from the premier name in kitchen cutlery and never having to sharpen them again. Never, ever. That's what you're getting in our today's special. It is one of the best innovations we've ever seen when it comes to kitchen cutlery. 3 different choices. We have the black set, we have the red set, and we have the white set. I'll show you all the things you're getting in it, and then I'll show you the magic that's inside this gorgeous designer custom block. First off, we start here with the paring knife. It is the most favorite knife. It's one of the most used knives in your kitchen. It is a beautiful paring knife. That's the first of the 7-piece set. So there is your gorgeous paring knife. Behind that one, this one is going to be your serrated utility knife. So it's a serrated utility knife, great for cutting breads and things like that. This is actually 5 inches. The next one after that, one of your workhorses, the 6-inch utility knife. This is the 7-inch Santoku knife that everyone loves. Here's your 8-inch absolute workhorse. That's going to be your chef knife. You even get the Henckels Shears to go with it. Plus, this is the key. This gorgeous block is not just good looking. It is a smart block because every single time you put a knife back in or you pull it out, it is sharpening that knife back to 95% of its brilliance. So you never have to mail them back, which I'm struggling to do right now. I'll tell you that story later. You never have to try to use one of those thingamabobs. You never have to get that rickety old thing out and try to run them through correctly because none of those are successful. Ultimately, all you want to do is put a knife away and know that it's bringing it back to 95% of its original brilliance. I think that is remarkable. And here's the best part. This is the icing on the cake. Comes with a manufacturer lifetime warranty. So imagine never having to spend another dime on beautiful knives or even bad knives again when you buy our today's special. We have 5 flex on all of our kitchen goodies today, so take advantage of that. Spread your payments out over 5 months, you get it right away. You're spending about 18 bucks to get a brand new Henckels knife set in your kitchen, or certainly the most amazing gift you could share with someone. Well, John Farrell's joining me. He's gonna tell us all about it. He's one of our kitchen experts. So John, welcome back. And I gotta tell you, huge hit, by the way, everybody, the white, we're down to the last 1,700 for the rest of the day. The black, which is then the only color we've ever offered until tonight, is the most popular set so far. So John, where do you wanna start on this?
Well, you know, first of all, the block itself is an absolutely beautiful ashwood block, stained beautifully. It's got the stainless steel cap that all the slots are labeled so you know which knife goes where. That Henckels, that Zwilling J.A. Henckels emblem, that says quality, because you mentioned it earlier, every chef in the world knows that Henckels knives are like the gold standard in kitchen cutlery. The problem is when you get a new knife home, and you know, our knives can go, just price some of our knives out on the market. I mean, the quality is unbelievable. But when you get a new knife home, of course it's gonna be sharp. All new knives are sharp, and this one's no exception. I mean, all you do is touch it, and it cuts it. These things are like a razor blade on a handle, and they're comfortable. They fit your hand beautifully. A full tang, so it's all high carbon stainless steel from the tip of the knife all the way through the handle to that beautiful, almost a teardrop end, which holds your fingers beautifully, triple riveted handle. And the problem that people have with knives, kitchen knives especially, is after you cut through the food, what happens to the knife? It hits your countertop or your cutting board or a plate or a dish or whatever it is that you're cutting on. And after time, that'll dull your knives. Now, like I said, all new knives are sharp, and this one is no exception. I mean, all you have to do is touch it and it cuts it. But again, the more you use it, the duller it gets. And that's where Zwilling J.A. Henckels has come up with this unbelievable, and this is one of the most innovative things in kitchen cutlery. When you take that knife out or replace it back into the knife block, it sharpens itself. There's built-in ceramic sharpeners inside of each slot that sharpens the knife perfectly. Each time you remove it or replace it, it sharpens itself so you'll never have a dull knife in the kitchen again. That's, I know, that's
when the
beauty
angels
of
sing. Oh, yes, John. I mean, you had me at, oh my gosh, never a dull knife again. And here's what's really cool about this is, you know, I don't care if you say, well, you know, I'm not much of a cook, or, well, I'm a brilliant cook. I love being in the kitchen. Everyone needs a great set of knives. There's not a person in the world who doesn't need a great set of knives. And it could be as simple as making the kids a bologna and cheese sandwich, and you're trying to cut the cheese, or, you know, cut the sandwich, to you love to cook and you're making these extravagant meals. If you pull out a dull knife, it's super frustrating. And you don't think about it until you're gonna go use a knife and you're like, daggone it, I hate this knife. Then you try to figure out, is there anybody out there to sharpen it? How many of you have to mail your knives in to get them sharp? I've got to tell you my own story of that in a moment. How many of you say, well, daggone it, I'm just gonna go buy another cheap knife, and you keep doing that over and over again? Stop doing that. Tonight you have the best opportunity to get Henckels, which is the premier name when it comes to kitchen cutlery. You're getting it with 5 flex, you're getting it at a special one-day price, and never have to worry about working with a dull knife again. To me, John, I don't know how anyone, if they're watching this, could go out tomorrow or 2 months from now and buy another bad knife from a supermart when you've got this opportunity to stop wasting money. You literally are just throwing your money down the drain.
It really, I mean, with this set, it gives you the precision, it gives you the quality, the control, and whether you're using our chef's knife, or if you're using our Santoku knife, or the other knives in the set, you get that quality and control that each and every one of our knives are designed with. You can make beautiful dishes, and I gotta tell you this, whether you're cutting something soft like cheese, okay, or something like an avocado, you can cut it right in half, right through the pit and everything. The beautiful part about this is, here, if you missed that, I'll do it again. They are razor sharp. I mean, they cut through just about everything, and the beauty of it is every time you take it out or replace it back into that knife block, it sharpens itself. You can actually hear it as it slides in and out of there. Those ceramic sharpeners, and I have to mention this,
Okay, we're gonna find out what he had to mention in just a second. Okay, I do wanna explain something that's really cool about this too. When John was talking about it sharpens automatically, I want you guys to see the front of this block. And Dixon, you're gonna have to come in really close on this too. What's interesting is and this is actually embossed. Now again, if that was printed, what would happen after a couple of weeks or a couple months or a couple of years, you would lose the word on there. This is actually embossed inside here, so that's never gonna come off. And it specifically says where this knife should go. And here's the reason why they want you to put it back very specific into that slot, is because no two knives are alike. Each different style of knife needs a different type of sharpening position. And within this little slot, they are each designed specifically to sharpen that knife, i.e. a Santoku knife is very different than a chef knife. A paring knife is very different than a utility knife. So those slots all have been calibrated to work with that knife blade exactly. Now come on, have you ever seen a smarter block than this? There's simply not one out there that does that. And so again, that's why you're getting that 95% of the original brilliance, sharpness, that beautiful razor sharp blade, every time you just simply use the knife and put it back away. I just find that to be absolutely remarkable that they've designed a block to do that. Now, let me give you a little history too on this. Please read the reviews. It's a huge customer pick. We launched this a year ago as a today's special, only in black. It totally sold out at a higher price. So we actually went to a better price. We have a lower price than even last year's very successful Today's Special. We added 2 new exclusive colors you can't find anywhere else. We have the red, and I love the new kitchen white. I think it's perfect for basically everybody's kitchen. So you have 3 great colors. We lowered the price, added 5 flex pays only for today, and we're the only place that has this set. Now, I do want to mention, if you really want to go for it, because you're sick and tired of all the old rusty knives you have in your house. We also have beautiful new steak knives from Henckels. This is amazing. It's a set of 4. These are available with 5 flex pays as well. We also have the exclusive white, red, and of course the traditional black available. Our today's special sold out a year ago in black only. We brought the black back 2 more times just as a regular item at a regular price. It's sold out again. And then finally, for 1 day only, we're doing our lowest price and our best value for a single 24-hour window. But again, these will not be available all 24 hours. If you want the white, you've got to order this one tonight. I fear it's going to be the first to sell out way before our day ends. Now, if you'd like to save $40, I got an even better deal. Are you ready? Grab our HSN card tonight. If you have not ever owned our HSN card or used it before, apply, and if you're approved, you're going to be able to get $40 off that very first item you purchase with it, right? So what that means is if you get the card and you order the today's special, your price is now $49.95. You still get 5 flex and all that kind of good stuff, but that cuts your price basically in half by just getting our HSN card. So it's a perfect night to be able to do that. Now, I do want to talk about the kitchen shears that come with it because again, you have that Henckels quality. These are so well balanced. I love using kitchen shears, but they've got to be sharp. They've got to be good quality. The reason I love it is because of things like this. When I make salads, I love little pieces, and I would much rather use a shear than a knife to be able to cut down to these little teeny slices that I really do adore for my salads. I hate when I get a salad that has a full thing of cucumber because what do I have to do? I have to be responsible of taking a fork and a knife and cutting it. So I want to make it easy for everyone who eats in my house, including myself, so I pre-cut it using the kitchen shears. Also, something else to note. These are full tang. Now this is really important, okay? Because when you have, it starts here and it ends here, you can see it. If we go in close, Dixon, you'll see that. It's one solid piece, and that's wildly important because a lot of knives have 2 pieces, this piece and the handle, and that makes them rickety and not very durable. When it's full tang, where you see it going all the way through the handle, that gives you beautiful durability, but these are also exquisitely balanced. This little lip here at the back not only gives it a really good hand so you don't slip when you're using it, but it also helps balance the knife so your arm and your hand doesn't get tired when you're using it, and thus you're cutting flawlessly. But you and I both know the worst part about having a good set of knives is having to get them sharpened. The best part is you never have to worry about that again. You don't have to pull out a little doodaddy. You don't have to plug in some little machine that doesn't work right because it's not. All knives are not treated the same. They have to be very specific for the type of sharpening mechanism to make them back to that almost original sharpness. Most units are never gonna do that, the ones that you plug in. This, every time you literally pull it out and put it away, it is sharpening itself back to 95% of its original brilliance. Come on, like, I really, if you're watching tonight and you've got decent knives, bad knives, no knives, or just really lame ones, right? Why not treat yourself to these tonight? Because you never basically have to worry about it again, because each and every set comes with a manufacturer's lifetime warranty. To me, that is absolutely phenomenal. You can buy one set, never have to spend another $1 on a knife potentially, and have a set that's going to be as sharp as the day you bought them, at least 95% of the sharpness of the day you bought them, and that's incredible. Something else John shared with us last hour too, even if you mail your knives away, they will not be able to achieve 95% of the original sharpness. They will not be able to do it. In this set, you're going to be able to get that time and time again, year after year after year after year. And there's nothing more delightful than if you're making a basic sub sandwich or you're cooking up one of the most complicated recipes in the world to have gorgeous knives that are sharp every single time you go to use them. I think for a lot of us, I know it's so frustrating. You want to try a new recipe and all of a sudden you get a dull knife out and here you are just completely ruining that beautiful tomato that you spent all that money on. And you're like, daggone it, it's so frustrating. And I think what happens is when you have bad knives and your cutting experience and that prep becomes so arduous, then you just don't want to experiment much. You don't really want to be in the kitchen very much because you're not enjoying the experience. And prep is usually the hardest part. And if you've got bad knives, it makes prepping even worse. With this set, imagine never having this issue. Now watch this. This is amazing to me. Because you know, if you have a dull knife, here's what happens. I'm gonna turn this over. This is what most of us fight with. And we end up butchering it or it's not cut evenly. That's usually a dull knife. Look at what happens with this Henckels. Look at how it glides through. And that's tough. You know peppers are tough to cut through. Look, it just literally glides through this pepper and it's absolutely effortless. Look at that. This makes being in the kitchen fun. This makes trying that new recipe a blast because all of a sudden the most arduous thing, which is prepping to cook, becomes one of the easiest things. And you and I both know, you know it darn well, there's such a joy to have great sharp knives. You ever get a brand new knife and you're so happy? You're like, oh, I forgot what it was like to have a really brand new sharp knife. Well, every single time you pull one of these out, that's gonna be your experience. And thus your whole cooking experience, making dinner for the family or for yourself, maybe even as simple as making a really good sandwich for lunch is gonna be so much better because you've got sharp knives. And we all know sharper knives and sharp knives are safer in the kitchen than dull knives. With dull knives, you start hacking away at stuff, and that's gonna increase your odds of cutting yourself or hurting yourself because you're using the knife improperly. With really sharp knives, you gotta be careful with them, of course, but you're not hacking anymore to try to cut something, so it lessens your ability to get hurt because it's just gliding through your food. All right, let me go over the set again, because you gotta know what's in here. It's a huge set, it's amazing. And by the way, if you ever go to a really nice culinary store, the Henckels knives are under lock and key because they're hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's the exact same company you find in some of the best culinary stores in the world. That's what you're getting is a Henckels set. So we start off with the paring knife, that's the workhorse. And notice too how beefy this is. This is most paring knives, honestly, even expensive paring knives tend to be a lot thinner in the blade. You can see it gives you that grip you need. You got a lot of control with this, but you can see it's actually a more depth of the paring knife than typical. So there's your paring knife. This is your serrated utility knife. This is your standard utility knife, which is gonna be 6 inches. This is gonna be your Santoku 7-inch, and then of course your big workhorse is that giant 8-inch chef knife, plus the kitchen shears, plus this beautiful block that's so gorgeous and keeps your knife sharp. All of your knives sharp for as long as you own these knives. I think that's amazing. Well, John, I know we had some TV technical difficulties, but thank you for rejoining me via the phone. What would you like to talk about next with this set?
Well, you know, I was mentioning earlier right before, and I don't know if it was construction in the area or what, the feed went out. I apologize. What I was going to mention when we cut out there is that the way that Henckels has set up the knife block is each knife has its individual slots. So the sharpness in each different knife slot is different. So where our chef's knife has a 15-degree angle when you as a sharpness, the Santoku knife has an 11-degree angle because it's a different thickness of the blade. And that's what's unique about this, and that's how we're able to get this to a 95% of its original factory sharpness. So each time you put that knife back into the block or take it out of the block to use it, it's sharpening it up to 95% of its original factory sharpness. That's you know, awesome. a professional knife sharpener can only get a kitchen knife to about 80% of its original factory sharpness. The normal homeowner with one of those stick sharpeners is lucky to get it to like 60% of its original factory sharpness.
Wow.
And that may feel sharp, but you know, when you pick up our knives, every time you take it out of that block, it's gonna feel like the very first time you used it. It's gonna have the same sharpness and feel. The nice thing about this is the design fits your hand perfectly.
Yes.
They're well balanced. And again, it's Zwilling J.A. Henckels. So this factory has been around since 1731. That's almost 300 years of cutlery experience. And that's why, again, you ask any chef, they'll tell you that Zwilling J.A. Henckels is the gold standard in kitchen cutlery. It really, I mean, the feel, the precision, and you know, a sharp knife is also a safe knife.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the dull knives that you have to force through the food, those are the ones that are going to cut you.
Yes.
When you have a sharp knife, it takes the stress out of the prep work in the kitchen. And, you know, Suzanne, you and I talked earlier, prep is half the battle.
Yep.
Cooking doesn't take any time. It's all the chopping, slicing, dicing. And when you have a great set of cutlery, it just, it adds joy to kitchen cooking.
It does. Joy and ease. And I think a lot of times, you know, I think a lot of people get so frustrated because they go into the kitchen, and when you have bad knives, all of a sudden the prep is really arduous. The food doesn't look so good. It doesn't cook evenly because it's all hacked up. And then the presentation doesn't look great. And I think as beginner chefs or beginner cooks, or even people who are somewhat experienced, that's just frustrating. You're like, oh, forget it. I'm just gonna get takeout, or I don't really wanna cook. I'm not a very good cook. Chances are you're gonna be an incredible cook. You just have the bad tools. And the knives are the epicenter of cooking in the kitchen. You must have great knives. You can't cook well without them.
I've had people tell me too, Suzanne, that for some reason, when you cut with these knives, it makes their food taste better. I don't know why. It's the joy of cooking, and when you have good tools, it really takes the work out of normal everyday kitchen prep. I got to tell you, this is a beautiful set. It's set up with all of the essential knives, from the 8-inch chef's knife to the 7-inch Santoku knife, which are really your workhorses in the kitchen, to your prep knife, which you'll use that straight prep knife. That 6-inch prep knife is probably my favorite knife in the entire set. I use it all the time for slicing and dicing. But the shears alone are worth it. I got to tell you, if you don't have a good set of kitchen shears, you wait until you get used to using these. You'll be doing everything from, you know those battery, when you buy a set of batteries, it comes in that plastic box.
The clamshells,
these, you can use that for cutting those open. Cardboard boxes. You'll use them for spatchcocking a chicken, or even just cutting through chicken bone. It's an amazing set of shears, and it comes with the set. The same quality, high carbon, stainless steel that Zwilling J.A. Henckels is known for. And these are ice-hardened knives. So it's a special process that we put these through that actually make them last longer. And that's why we can give you such a great warranty on these. A lifetime warranty. With that knife block, you'll never have to sharpen the knives again.
Yeah, I just love that. And John, too, you presented this a couple times. We did one Today's Special a year ago. It sold out, and it was only available in black, and the price was higher. So we brought it back. We added 2 new colors, and daggone it, we even lowered the price. So it's simply a better offer than we've ever done. And in the meantime, between last year's Today's Special and this year's, it was presented a few times just as a single item and sold out at a much higher price, not even our Today's Special price. So here's your chance to get it.
At any price.
Well, I gotta tell you, I mean, I've gone to really beautiful culinary stores, and when you go and say, hey, can I look at some Henckels knives, they have to bring a key, and they have to unlock them, and they're always under glass, and they can be hundreds of dollars just for a single chef knife.
That's right. They're triple-digit knives. That's right.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's worth it. I'll tell you what, though. Ask any chef that's picked up a Zwilling Henckels knife. They will tell you that it's worth every penny. Even at the regular retail price, it's worth every penny, because when you use these knives, you'll feel the quality. You feel the precision. And you're able to do things with a good sharp knife that you just can't do with the kitchen knives that you have in your kitchen drawer right now. It's also in a beautiful knife block that really really looks beautiful in any kitchen setting. That's why I always say, at this price too, think about 2 or 3 sets as a housewarming gift, wedding showers. Everybody can use a good set of kitchen cutlery. And when you give as a gift Zwilling J.A. Henckels, they know it's good quality cutlery.
And I completely agree with you too, John. I mean, it's just so nice to have. And here's the thing, guys, if you can use automated ordering, that is gonna be the best way to jump in the front of the line and get your favorite color before they're sold out. Also, another piece of advice is, if you can, go to hsn.com. And honestly, it's a couple of quick clicks, and you go click, I've got the white before they're gone, and you've got it and reserved, and you know it's gonna be coming to your home. You also have to remember too, as a Today's Special, this is a one-day offer. It does two things. Either it sells out, which the white looks like it's gonna sell out early, or we get to the end of the day, and if there's even a few left, the price jumps up to $129.95. And I'll tell you what, that's still an exceptional price for a Henckels knife set. It's amazing. So even $29.95, this is a beautiful set. But right now you're getting it for under $90. We have 5 flex pays, which I love. You're gonna spread your payments out over 5 months using any major credit card, which means you're only investing about $18 tonight, and you still have our ironclad 30-day guarantee. If you don't absolutely love these, and I mean, use them on the cutting boards, use them on all the toughest surfaces you've got. If you don't absolutely love these within 30 days, you can still send them back for a refund. The problem is, will you get the color that you want tonight, and will you get in on a tremendous value from the gold standard of knives? Guys, you can even do a little research, take 2 minutes and go, oh, Henckels. You'll find that they set the gold standard for kitchen cutlery. And I'm so excited. This isn't some weird off-brand and it's a good deal. This is the brand and it's a phenomenal deal. And the best part is you will never, ever, ever have to send these away to sharpen them or figure out how to use some weird sharpener. You just literally use them and put them away. And every time you do that, it brings them back to 95% of their original sharpness and brilliance. It's fantastic. All right, guys, I know we're super busy. John, we will catch a little bit later. Oh no, John's gonna stay with me for a few more minutes, only because I do wanna talk about this. A lot of you guys are going for it, 'cause you're like, you know what, if you're getting new knives, you probably have bad steak knives too, right? We've got these in the exclusive